Hello and welcome back to The Promise Daily. This is Jamie Eslinger and I am back with another one of our series in the abundance interviews. I am very excited to share today's interview with Bren Bataclan, who is both a friend and somebody I have followed for years, 10 years now. He's amazing. I can't wait for you to hear his story and what he thinks abundance is. I do want to point out that this interview was done while I still lived in Boston, so over a month ago, and we had a little bit of technical difficulty, so the video didn't come out, but I think this has turned out even better because now you can see Bren's artwork, which we've put into the movie portion of this. So here we go. Enjoy. Like, what is it to live in abundance? What is abundance? And so that's what I'm doing this year. I'm exploring all of these questions around what's abundance. And so I'm making this series of podcasts, and I'm interviewing people from different walks of life, different areas of expertise, doing different initiatives about what is abundance, what is it? And so that's what I want to talk to you about today, because I've been such a fan of yours since I first met you. I totally love what you do, Bren.
Thank you.
I do. And maybe we should just start the interview now.
Okay. I love my job.
Oh, you love your job. Well, okay,
Absolutely love my job.
For everybody listening, Bren, I love your job too. Why don't you say what you do and share a little bit about how it all started?
Okay. So, I'm a full-time artist. I've been an artist for 10 years now. And as I said 3 times already, I love my job. I love it because it's pretty organic. This is not what I planned in life. If you asked me like 12 years ago, hey, Brent, can you see yourself being a full-time artist? I said, what? Because even though my background is sort of related, I was trained as a designer, undergrad, and then grad school computer animation. And I actually moved here to teach design and computer animation at UMass Amherst. But that's still kind of far removed from painting. But I taught for a couple of years, and when the whole economy crashed in 2000, because after teaching I joined the dot-com world. It was great for 3 years. I had money for the first time in my life, awesome stocks, amazing
You're like,
pay.
this is awesome.
What?
You're like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome, and then it all went away in 2000, so I didn't have a job. I was one of those millions of guys with the same training. There was an oversaturation with folks with my skills. So I tried everything, including painting these characters that I've been drawing since I was a little kid. And I exhibited them here at home in Cambridge during the Cambridge Artists Open Studios. I painted 59 of these characters, and 49 out of 56 sold in 2 days.
Wow.
And so folks said, hey, you can pay rent. It was just, I guess the logical kind of next step after that was to kind of look for a job, because I was just really, really confident. But instead, I poured the money back to the street art project, where I left 30 paintings around Cambridge and Boston, on park benches, the T station, hospitals, senior centers, and Boston Magazine found one, they wrote about it, and it slowly snowballed into a full-time job. Like the Children's Hospital commissioned me, Boston University, Lesley University. The first 2 years was a real struggling artist mode, but each year after that, it's just been a little improvement here and there. And so from like the worst possible scenario of like not having a job to finding the best job I've ever had in my life. So yeah, it's so worth the journey.
Yeah. I love that you said that, and I think that I myself have been through job losses and major life changes, and it seems like they always just end up putting me on an even better, greater path.
Yes.
Sounds like that certainly happened for you. So I want to, if you could, describe your painting style a little bit, and I am specifically looking at Smiley Bee right now.
Okay.
But talk a little bit about this style and where it came from and what your inspiration was.
Okay, well, I was born in the Philippines, and when I was a kid there, anime was huge, but this is old school anime. These are the birth of the giant robots shows, and so I used to watch them nonstop. And if you look at anime, the human beings are rendered with giant eyes, and so that's why my characters have big eyes, and because of that anime influence. But what makes mine different is most of my characters have one big eye and one little one, and I have absolutely no idea why I do that. So if you have an answer, let me know. And those are just rendered from like the neck and up because I just like to hone in on their smiles. And I don't name them, so folks who acquire them either through finding one or purchasing one can name them themselves. And the color scheme is based on what I used to see when I was a kid in the Philippines. So they're very bright, vibrant, festive. I think that's part of the reason why it took off here in Boston, because I premiered them around fall, winter, when all these colors of my paintings are not readily kind of seen. So that's pretty much a background of how they look. They are cartoon-inspired acrylic paintings.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they do. They're very vibrant. They're very fun, and they do make you smile. I would love for you. So I first met you, Bren, after the Smile Boston project.
Yeah.
Which I think was so brilliant. And let's talk a little bit about that. Where did you get the idea for the Smile Boston project, and how did it, how did it first play out? How did it happen?
Okay. Actually, the first thing I'd like to say is this is the 10th year of that street art project.
Wow.
And so, as you may know, I am driving across the country. I've given paintings in about 30 states, so I have 20 more to go. And I just had Kickstarter, which I've raised over 300% of my goal. So
I know! Congratulations!
Thank you. And thank you for the support and all of that.
Oh, you're welcome.
So this all has started because I actually grew up in San Francisco. So after my childhood in the Philippines, we moved to San Francisco, and I saw lots of street art, but I wasn't the type of kid that would spray paint or vandalize public or private property. So 10 years ago, I thought here in Boston, why not do my own street art, but sort of like a temporary kind, to like just leave painting on a park bench as an example, and to like just spread happiness and joy. And also it's a great way to like expose folks who normally don't go and see art at galleries or exhibits. And it's just a great way for people to like get original art, so these are all the reasons why I do it. Basically, is to just spread smiles, joy, and happiness.
And so, what was the original note that you wrote on the paintings? Because what would happen in Boston is people would be walking down the street, they'd see a painting, they'd see this bright, vibrant, cartoon-like painting sitting on a park bench. They'd go over and pick it up, and what was the note on it?
It's still the same note, pretty much. Is this painting is yours if you promise to smile at random people more often. And I kind of started to change it a bit, starting in 2008, when like the economy went down south. So sometimes I changed the note to "everything will be all right."
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. I saw you had a really great piece done about your work, and I think it's on your website if anybody wants to go and look at it. I don't know, was it
Katie Couric?
Katie Couric, that's right, yeah. I was trying to remember.
She changed my career, so thank you, Katie.
Thanks, Katie. That's awesome that you had that segment, and it really, I loved that this segment follows the art piece, and you see people's reaction when they pick it up, and then they read the back, and they're like, what? Is this for real?
Yep.
What is the kind of reaction that you hear or see from people once they discover one of your paintings in your street art projects?
It's a funny study of people. I guess if I'm not a full-time artist, I may be an anthropologist, because I do love that type of work. So I've been doing it for 10 years. The first year, I have to admit, I was a stalker. I stayed there and made sure that someone would take my babies. And I don't want to be known as the guy leaving them. I mean, I'm not completely anonymous because if you go to my website, there's tons of photos of me. But at that moment, I don't want to be seen as the guy leaving it because I think that'll make folks a little self-conscious when they take the artwork if they see the person leaving it. So I would stand 30 feet away or hide behind a bush or a wall. But college campuses, when I leave them at schools, they get picked up within seconds because students have no qualms of taking things for free. But
That's awesome.
yeah, but when older folks try, because I say try because it takes them a while to like take them, it takes a long time. So in this country, it's between 3 to 30 minutes. Outside the country, it's a free-for-all. Friends of mine left them in Japan, and it took forever. So they said that folks are super honest, that you know, you can leave a purse open with like money spilling out and no one would take it. So, but at least in this country, about 3 to 30 minutes. So sometimes folks would kind of commit. They would guard the painting but not take it, but then they wouldn't let anyone else take it. So, but within 30 minutes, someone would take it. Someone told me that it's not the person who chooses the painting to like be taken home. It's actually the painting who chooses who like their like owners will be. So I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that too. So now if people want to see some of the places your paintings have been given away as part of this huge street art project, they can see it on your website, which is, do you want to give out the URL for your website?
Sure. It's my last name, Bataclan. B as in boy, A, T as in Tom, A, C, L, A, N.
Yeah.
Bataclan.com.
And if you go to Bren's website, you will see he has been all over the world. All over the world. Not even just the United States, but your paintings have been all over the world. Can you share some of these places? Like, what are some of the craziest, furthest out places your paintings have been?
Okay, so I just, about a month ago, I was in Peru. So I left them on top of Machu Picchu.
Awesome.
Yeah. And last summer, I gave them away in Bali, a beautiful place, Malaysia, and Singapore. So they've been given away, as I said, in 30 states and about over 50 countries right now. People ask me, "Wow, are you independently wealthy, or are you making millions with your artwork?" No, I don't. I haven't been to all 50 places. Sometimes families, friends, and clients give them away from me. So my paintings have been given away in Antarctica because a client of mine went on a cruise.
Wow.
And they've given away to Latvia because the school that I worked with, Newton, is sort of like their sister school, or they work with them, and so the paintings were sent to them. And actually the first painting, international one, went to Djibouti, Africa, believe it or not.
How did that happen?
A friend of a friend in the military, he is in the military, he was guarding this orphanages. So he thought, well, this place needs lots of smiles, and so we ship paintings to Africa. So talk about a really exotic place. So that's one, and also they have been given away in Afghanistan as well. So, and the range of feedback, most are just thank you notes. Some are, kind of heartfelt. They give you a paragraph, but a handful of them are really, really intensely personal. Would you like to hear some examples?
Yes, I would. Okay. I would. And after that, I want to hear what's the place that you really need a painting to go to, because if anybody has a connection, let's put it out there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, so I have a number of stories, but I'll just highlight about 3 of them. So they were given away at a school in the Midwest, like a college, and this student emailed me and said, "Hey, Bren, thank you for the painting. I was thinking of," he was about, it's hard for me to say, but suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said finding my painting wasn't the only reason. It was just an aspect of him not going through it. But that's probably the most intense one.
Yeah, that's intense. And well, that makes me think of what you just said a moment ago, that the paintings pick the person.
Yeah. So, yep.
Mm.
So that's one. Another really intense one too was I gave away paintings in my hometown in San Francisco, and the San Francisco Chronicle took a photo of this guy picking it up at the BART station. And about a week or two after, his mom called me and said, "Bren, thank you for letting me know that my son was still alive." So basically, the son kind of disappeared because he got really into drugs.
Oh my gosh.
He was dead. And so that kind of, helped her see that her son was still alive. And so I'm now kind of her adopted son, like an unofficial adopted son. And she lives in LA, and I go back there a lot because I said I went to UCLA. So I met her, and her husband was an artist, so I get artwork from her. So yeah, so that's really
amazing. I also think that there's something so deeply human about your paintings, even though they are so completely, like you said, anime, cartoony feeling looking. Yep. But they pull out human emotion. I mean, you do paintings of dogs, you do paintings of these like little characters that look like lizards, or like just eyeballs. And
but it's so weird because I didn't think it would, like, folks could relate to this much. It's not planned. Like, I didn't want this to like affect folks at this level, but I think by making them non-specific, because a lot of them are not humans or dogs, they're just kind of, it said lizard-like aliens, or right. I think by making them non-specific, folks can relate to them more. But I still don't know, Jamie. I don't know. There's this mystery about them, because I look at them and I just say, "Oh, they're cute," but I just feel so blessed and happy about.
Oh, well, and you should, because you're really, art is an emotional thing. And what you do, not only is it emotional, but you're connecting people through it. You're connecting yourself and your art to these strangers, and then these strangers are connected to the moment. And then look what happened with this mother who became connected in a new way because she found out where her son was.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Well, what or where do you want a painting to go that has not happened yet? And if anybody's listening, how could people help?
I guess they've been trying to like South Pole.
That's awesome.
Really fun. And also one of my favorite clients. She graduated from MIT. She's now working for Richard Branson. The Virgin guy.
Yeah, Mr. Branson. Yes.
Mr. Branson, and so he has a new company, Virgin Galactic, that will take really rich folks to outer space.
Yeah.
So she's confident that she will be one of them, because as his employee, and she said she will take my paintings to outer space. So I said, wow. So
Bren, that is incredible.
Yeah. I guess I'd like my paintings to go more to Africa. Because they've been to Asia a lot, because I'm from there, and they have been to Europe, and I was just in South America. So I guess Africa, anywhere there except for Djibouti, because they've been given away in Djibouti. Because
they made it to Djibouti already.
Yeah. So, but then it hasn't really kind of spread across. They have been given away in Egypt, but yeah. Also, I guess in the Middle East too, because these places need that.
Yep, that's great. I love just putting the request out there.
Yes.
Because you never know who will hear this and what might happen.
Yes.
So I want to get your feedback. As you know, my promise this year is exploring abundance.
Yeah.
And this whole idea of what is abundance and how do we find abundance and how do we create abundance. So I'd love to know from your perspective, what do you think abundance is?
Wow. I've read that question over 3 weeks now since you've given it, and I have lots of I'm happy, in general because of, just personal and work, like especially, I guess. Abundance, when I think about how many paintings I've given away after this 10-year anniversary, it'll be maybe 1,200 paintings given away in 10 years. Because I try 15 a month. But this has mostly been a self-funded endeavor, except for this Kickstarter thing. So in lean times, I give away about 5 paintings a month. And on really good times, about 15. But I've given away 115 paintings in 3 days in New York, too, in 2008.
Wow.
So I guess my vision of abundance, when folks ask me, how many paintings have you given away? It will be over 1,000 now. And I get that is more of the physical painting. I hope that at least 1,200 folks have been affected in a positive way with my paintings, and I'm sure more than that person who found the painting have seen the paintings, have spread smiles as well. So I guess abundance for me is that free painting part of my work, because that's a lot.
That's a lot. Well, and
wow.
It does go back to, it's not just a painting. It's a really powerful idea of reaching out and connecting with somebody else and sharing a smile.
Yeah.
And so the abundance piece feels like it's like paying it forward times 1,200, It's really incredible.
Thank you.
It really is incredible, and I know this is what you do, and you're so gifted, and it's such a beautiful expression of your personality as well.
Thank you.
But being on the outside, I am such a fan of your work and have been for a really long time, and I know you're like one of the first folks that have took really big interest in mine. So thank you, because that really helped me a lot. Because when we met 10 years ago, honestly, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing anything, and I guess not having the fear of, when I was a graphic designer and a computer animator, I heard lots of the kind of pros and cons and advice from professors, colleagues, and all those people. Well, since I wasn't trained in the fine arts world, I didn't have all those kind of advice, I think, which also mixed in with desperation, because I didn't have a job. I just did anything, from like, kind of my artwork at, like Catholic gyms, kind of crafts and fair places, all the way to gallery stuff, and now I'm painting murals. I painted over 60 murals in the past 10 years. I didn't expect to be a muralist, Right.
Yeah.
It just evolved. So I've got 2 questions along those lines, and the first is, you didn't expect to be a muralist, and I think that's profound, because somehow you accepted when you saw it and accepted it and moved into it as it presented itself. And I think that, in our society, sometimes it's really hard to move away from your plan and what you thought was going to happen, and move into your path and what's really unfolding. So what advice would you give to somebody who's kind of in the shoes you were in 10 years ago?
Yep. Okay, my advice is, when I had a full-time job like in the .com world, I was just a weekend artist. I would do open studios, but I didn't take it seriously. When I didn't have a job and I didn't have a choice, just like with a mural. When the first school asked me, Bren, would you like to paint a mural? I was freaking out when I was asked that question because I've never painted a mural. I mean, I had no idea. Yeah. But not having a choice because it was a form of income, I didn't even think about it. I just said yes. I was honest, and I said, this would be my first time, and the school was willing to gamble. But I guess if I had a choice, like if I had something to fall back upon, I actually probably would have been more hesitant. But since I didn't have a choice, as I said, I just went for it. So I guess my advice is, if you're really passionate about it, and if you're scared, or like if something's holding you back because it would not be a comfortable kind of moving forward next step, then don't wait until you're desperate or like unemployed to like do exactly what you love. Mm-hmm. Because you know, I didn't do it until I didn't have a job, and now looking back at it, I wish I'd been painting since like after grad school, because I would have been such a, you know, like a really happy person, because I grew up really close to like George Lucas's Lucasfilm, and I always wanted to work for him, and so that's why I got into like computer animation and stuff, and I thought I'd love being in computer graphics, but now, in comparison to creating art with a computer and versus painting, painting is so painless. It's so pain-free. I mean, I don't have to learn a new software. There's no troubleshooting. So I thought I was in love with my job when I was in computer graphics, even though I kind of knew it. I wasn't that good, but I still thought, like, I've convinced myself, because I have invested 7 years of undergrad and grad. I said, oh, I'm not just going to throw that away. But now I'm painting, and I love painting, like in comparison to computer graphics. So once again, you know, I was forced out of it. But don't wait for that.
Yeah, don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. Sometimes I feel like, you know, just as we're saying, your paintings find the right person.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel in life your path finds you.
Yes.
Even if you continue to ignore it, and it does everything it needs to do, including getting you laid off.
Yeah.
Or changing your life around so
yes.
that you really do walk down the path you're meant to walk down.
Yes.
So along the lines of the mural,
yep.
Unfortunately, not all of us can stumble upon a park bench and find one of your amazing paintings for free. So how do people engage with your artwork outside of, you know, the street art projects? How do they buy your paintings? How do they commission murals? How does that process work?
Oh, a lot of it's just word of mouth. And so with the murals, one thing cool about it is if a school and the town hires me, usually the other schools say, hey, we need a mural too. So I just finished painting a mural in Stoughton. And I'm now painted in all 4 or 5 of their elementary schools. Same in Natick, same in Walpole. And so I'm about to paint a mural in Walpole. Yeah, because it's just like one school typically hires me, the other schools get, you know, say, hey, you know, we need one too. So it's just a lot of word of mouth. And so, like, in terms of galleries, I have one right now at the 13 Forest in Arlington.
Okay.
So they have shown my work there. And the personal commissions of, you know, family portraits and pets, I just finished painting one, and I just posted it on Facebook. This is for a girl's bedroom. She loves to read. She loves music. So I painted a book with a musical note on top. And so folks find me through my website or Facebook or Twitter. Oh, yeah, and if you really, really would like to find a painting of mine, I post where I would leave them on Twitter. And so I have given away lots of paintings in New York City, and the first time I used Twitter, this is probably 4 years ago, I posted that, hey, I'm here, and I'm about to leave a painting here. And two folks tweeted me saying, yeah, I'm staring at you right now waiting for you to leave. That was really creepy because there were like hundreds of people around me. They were following me. I said, oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah, the power of social media.
Yeah.
In action. Well, that's a good tip. So if people want to, they should definitely follow you on Facebook and Twitter. And
Yep.
What's your Twitter handle?
It's Smile Project.
Smile Project. Great. Great, great, great. So want to know something that just occurred to me as very ironic?
What?
When we first met, so I met Bren about 10 years ago, and I was working for Baskin-Robbins at the time, and I loved everything about your paintings and what they stood for, and I cooked up this huge promotion that would take Bren across the country with the brand I was working for, and the whole idea was to take the paintings across the country and build this whole, remember this promotion that we worked on?
Yes, it was awesome.
It was awesome. I was so excited to do that promotion. Well, for whatever reasons, it didn't get approved. It didn't happen. But now I see that you really are. You're hitting the whole country now, and
I am, yeah.
and I find it a little bit ironic. But why don't you talk a little bit about what's coming up? Is it this summer?
It's starting in June.
Starting in June, okay.
So I have 20 states, like North Dakota, Alabama. It's all online. And so it's important for me to do something big for my 10th year anniversary. And I said, well, this is doable, 20 states, because after this, it'll be all 190 plus countries around the world. And I already have outer space covered through my client. And so
which is so amazing.
Why, is that funny?
It's so funny.
So in June, I'll be flying to 4 states near North Dakota. And then in July, it'll be around the Alabama area. And then I'll be driving across country at the end of July to San Francisco because we will be there for about a month. And on the way back, I'll say, so me driving across the country, I'll hit probably about 10 states, and on the way back, another 5. And so between June, the 4 states near North Dakota, early July, Alabama, about 4 other states, and across country one way, about 10 states, and then across country back the remaining way. So my goal is to leave 300 paintings because my favorite number is 15. So 15 paintings per state times 20, it's 300. So that's my goal.
That is amazing. So people definitely need to follow you on Twitter.
Yes.
So that they can track your progress crisscrossing the country.
300 free paintings.
Free paintings. A summer of free paintings.
Yes.
That is so exciting. I am so happy for you, Bren.
Thank you.
So exciting. There was another question I wanted to ask you. Your book. Your book.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Tell us about the book.
I'm holding it. So, Heinemann Press, they just published a textbook about my work. So they had the series to introduce really young kids to fine arts, and so mine you can buy individually or as a box. And so this series, it stems from it's a pretty broad spectrum from really established people, from Warhol, Rothko, Pollock, all the way to emerging artists like me. So it's to really expose kids to fine arts, from really established people to guys that are just starting out like me. And it's already out, and you can order it.
You can. It is out. Okay, so where can we order it?
Oh my gosh, the phone's
Is it?
waiting.
Oh, no problem.
I'm just gonna hit stop. I don't know how to do. Okay. There you go.
No problem. You're a very busy artist.
No, it's okay. It's just one of those, telemarketers.
Yeah.
So right now, you can get them through Heinemann, Heinemann. It's a textbook, so I think as of now you can only order it through them.
Got it. Okay, so it's more for, obviously, schools, education system, but what a huge honor to be included.
I know, it's a textbook. So
it's really, it's a testament to what you've created. Your work is so unique, so positive. It's in a way it's simple but deeply profound at the same time.
Thank you.
Which is probably the definition of all great art, right there. So of course you're in a textbook.
Who knew?
Who knew? Well, I also just want to say that people can buy your paintings online, it looks like.
Yes.
And I personally own, I just found, so I'm number 15.
Yes.
Which is the two little smiley faces looking at each other.
Yep.
I personally own that in my collection.
I know.
Which I love. And I also own a smiley bee.
Yes.
So if you want to add to your own collection, actually, you know what? The one I own is number 3.
Yeah.
It was with
the baseball cap.
With the baseball cap. Yeah. Is the bee for Boston or smiley bee?
I have a design background, so I know all about the copyrights and everything. So it can be for Boston, can be for the Red Sox, but my first and last name starts with the letter B. So if anyone comes after me and says, hey, it's for me. But it's totally up to you. You can interpret it whatever way you want, whichever way you want.
Said like a great artist. Oh, Bren, it's been so wonderful to catch up with you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. It's an honor to be part of your podcast, and I can't wait to hear it. So send it over with the images. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I definitely will. I'll get you a copy of everything, and keep me posted on your cross country. And the other thing I would put out there in case you need any help, we'll be driving cross country the first week of June.
Oh,
so,
cool.
I don't know if there's a state. I mean, I don't know if there's any piece of it that you need help, but let me know if you do.
Yeah, call me or email.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, have an awesome weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, Bren. Bye.
Hey, happy 10 years of our friendship.
I know, 10 years. We're in the Decade Club. It's awesome.
10 years.
You know, something came up. I just want to say that something came up the other day, and I was talking to somebody, and I was like, I feel like there's this 10-year rule where it feels like people burst onto the scene, but they've really been doing all this amazing work for 10 years. I feel like I see that a lot with people. Like, they make it, or they, burst on the scene in some way, and it's like, oh, look at this person who just started doing this, but they've really been doing it for 10 years. I think there's something about 10 years.
Yeah, this is like a big kind of like year for me. Yeah, it's 10 years. Just being a full-time artist alone, it's like, I still can't believe that I'm able to like be a full-time artist. It is really like a dream job, because it's amazing.
It's amazing. Well, you're amazing too. I wish you all the best.
You too.
And let's stay in touch.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.